sound a little strange to hear and to even consider inside of yourself. That is there any part of you that actually judges happiness? We say we want the man, we want the money, the beautiful home, the opportunity to travel, all of these gorgeous things. But in the end, what do we really, really want? I want to be happy. So today we're going to be talking about happiness and why we have a tendency to resist it. Now, before we get into that, I want to share that the title of this video is Let Yourself Be Happy. Now, that may be an easy thing to feel and to swallow when you see that, right? Yeah, I'm going to let myself be happy. This whole series started, however, with a video that I did 11 years ago at this point, 11 years ago, called Let Yourself Be Skinny. So, a little asterisk. If I was to do that video now, I don't think I would utilize the word skinny because it can be a very loaded word. However, the underlying essence of that video, when you get past any kind of trigger activation around that word, is gifting ourselves permission to let ourselves live into what it is we desire and not upper limit, not hold ourselves back from, I can only allow this much of this in my life, and then that's too much because someone might get upset. So let's talk about this for a minute, because again, the initial is like, well, yeah, Tara, like, of course I'm going to let myself be happy. Of course I want that. So many of us say we want this, and yet so many of us resist this. Why is that? Why would we even resist happiness? A couple of things that I want to share with you for you to feel this inside. And the intention inside of this is for you to gift yourself permission to consider where you may be stopping yourselves, experiencing consistently. This is important because we might find little peaks and valleys of oh, I feel happy when. We're going to talk about this. But this consistent riding foundational energy of happiness. Now, this doesn't mean a perfectionism. This doesn't mean an ignorance or a stoic kind of spiritual bypass, right? We definitely can gift ourselves, and I believe it's important to gift ourselves the ebbs and flows of the human experience. And yet the drastic, oh, I need this high, and then I'm expecting a crash, that's what we're looking at unraveling. The resistance to happiness. Why would we resist happiness? This might sound a little strange to hear. Is there any part of you that actually judges happiness? That judges being happy? Is there any kind of fear inside that if I am happy, then maybe the other shoe's gonna drop? Maybe if I allow myself to be fully happy, then something bad is going to happen. So I have to prepare myself. I have to protect myself. I can't let myself get too happy because if I do, there's this other kind of thing that might happen. So you may find yourself protecting and preparing yourself against happiness. Also, whatever experience you have with happiness growing up, maybe you have somebody in your life that swung from energies of happiness to intensity in other ways, maybe sadness, maybe drinking or overindulging or anger, rage in some way. And you saw this pendulum swing from happiness and started to have an expectation that if you go to one extreme, you're going to expect the other. So forget it. I'm just going to stay apathetic, or I'm just going to stay in settling mode, or I'm just going to stay with, it just is what it is. Things are fine. We have a tendency based on how it was we grew up and the perception, the lens with which we saw through, that we regulate our nervous system to expect and to be comfortable in certain emotions. So although our brain and logically and even our wisdom can say, well, yeah, of course I want to be happy. If inside your nervous system is like, happy is dangerous. I don't know about this happy thing. I don't know if it exists. I don't want to get too used to it because if it does and then it feels too good and then something happens and I'm disappointed, your nervous system might say, I'm more comfortable in chaos. I'm more comfortable in sadness. I'm more comfortable in anger. I'm more comfortable in apathy or vanilla kind of feeling. Again, this isn't a logical thing inside, but just check in with yourself and see if you've had a tendency to feel more comfortable in an energy other than happiness. So we have a tendency, all of us do this, right? To see happiness as something that's outside of us, right? When my husband takes out the trash, when my kids are perfectly behaved, when my body looks this exact perfect way, when the bank account reflects this, and then it's okay for me to be happy. We all do this, right? We search for this. This is a human thing that we do. And again, we have the knowledge inside and the wisdom that we know. We know that we know that we know, right? We all know this, that we are the only ones responsible for our happiness. No one else can make us happy. No one. Now, do we love when beautiful things happen in the way that we would like them to? Yes, it's a beautiful thing, right? The ego loves this. We love this. Like, oh, it's so perfect. Everything is going perfectly in my life right now. I have every reason to be happy. But what about when things aren't going exactly the way we want? What if somebody does something that's not in alignment with our view of feeling good? Can we still maintain, enjoy, and honor a state of happiness inside of us? Now, again, I want to be really careful. This doesn't mean that as we move through life, we don't allow ourselves to feel the things we require to feel. In my experience, feeling the human emotions is a really gorgeous opportunity inside the spiritual realm. It's not about skipping things. It's not about passing over or doing a spiritual bypass. It is also being aware that there's a harmonious state of happiness inside with which we can respond to life. So let's talk about a couple of gorgeous ways to step into this energy of happiness. Now, I will have a PDF for any of you who really want to take this conversation deeper. A couple of things that I want to say. We have a private Women Living Fully Facebook group. Let us know if you would like that link. We're going to be continuing the discussion in there much deeper, also providing you with a PDF that you can utilize and go deeper inside of some journaling to see where you may be resisting, consciously, unconsciously resisting the energy of happiness. Let's talk about a couple of quick ways that, again, these aren't responsible for our happiness, right? We know, again, we are the only ones responsible for our happiness. It's not about an expectation of something external providing happiness for us. And yet, moving through the world and gifting ourselves permission to feel good and experience things reminds us of the reflection of what it is that we already have inside, right? This beautiful state that we can enter into at any time. So disconnecting, again, from this idea that you have to prove yourself, that you have to do a number of things in order to gift yourself permission to be happy. A gorgeous opportunity is to sit in silence. Again, whether you meditate, whether you sit on the deck and listen to the birds, whether you close your eyes and have your face in the sun, this opportunity to really slow down and connect with what happiness feels like for you. This is really important and really, really beautiful. We all experience things in a bit of a unique way. So happiness for you may feel like peace. It may feel like joy. It may feel like a relief. Sit with yourself, slow down, spend some time with your eyes closed and really feel the frequency, the vibration of happiness inside of you, and begin to regulate your nervous system to let yourself know, I'm safe in this feeling. So one, define the feeling for yourself. Sit with your eyes closed, feel the feeling of happiness and define it for yourself. Is it peace? Is it joy? Is it relief? Is it relaxation? See what that brings up inside of you and begin to allow yourself to sit with yourself daily inside of this feeling, letting yourself know, I'm safe to feel this. I'm safe to feel the emotion, the energy, the frequency of happiness. I'm safe inside of this. Really breathing in and out the energy of happiness, allowing yourself to feel that beautiful saturation and cascading of energy, calming your nervous system, creating a new level of intimacy with this gorgeous vibration of happiness. And are there things inside of the physical world that we can allow ourselves to do and experience that, again, reflect to us this happiness? What are your heartfelt desires? Is there anything that you've been putting on the back burner, telling yourself, I can't be happy yet because I can't let myself experience this yet because, and it could be anything. It could be dance lessons. It could be, singing. It could be I'm taking Italian lessons right now. I love, love, love. I already speak French. Love my Italian lessons. Again, it's not like I have to have that to be happy, but is it an expression of my happiness? Yes, I love it so much. So these things that we have a tendency to put on the back burner or tell ourselves they're not valuable because they're not going to make us money or we don't see the direct ROI, right? These things that our mind tell us we have to do, let that go and look at something that's a heartfelt desire for you. The other thing that I have found so useful and so supportive in my life is letting go of any kind of toxic relationships, toxic conversations, toxic activity. So for me, this would be any kind of gossiping, any kind of conversation that doesn't feel good. It could be talking about somebody else. It could be talking about something violent or something that I know I don't want to experience, something so like that might seem typical to have conversations around. If I'm like, ew, I don't feel good, I will say, this doesn't support me. I'm going to remove myself from this conversation, and I do. So again, it could be gossip. It could be having conversations about the news or anything that you're like, it's not bringing me happiness. I'm removing this from my life. It could be TV shows, all of this kind of thing. You have the power in your life to remove yourself from situations that aren't aligning yourself with happiness. So look through that lens as well. So a super quick review of what we've talked about. Number one, slowing down, spending some time with your eyes closed, feeling into the energy of happiness, beginning to each day, breathing in and breathing out, being comfortable inside the energy and frequency of happiness, allowing yourself to feel safe, calming your nervous system, regulating your nervous system, creating a new level of intimacy with happiness. Number two, honoring a heartfelt desire, whatever that might be for you. Again, if it's singing, if it's dancing, if it's Italian lessons, like whatever it is that you know you're honoring, something that you truly desire, that would be number two. And number three are letting go of the things that you know do not bring you happiness. So again, it could be a toxic relationship, toxic conversations, gossip, any kind of food or anything, like maybe you want to stop drinking alcohol, anything that you know, TV shows, anything that you're like, I know for sure that doesn't bring me happiness, I'm going to give myself permission to remove that from my life. So again, this is part one in our series. Wherever it is you're catching us, we're going to be doing a let yourself be rich, let yourself be healthy, let yourself be beautiful, and let yourself be loved. So if you find this information helpful, supportive to you, I would love for you to subscribe. Let me know in the comments how this is feeling. If you would like to be a part of our Women Living Fully Facebook group, let us know that below so that we can send you the link. Inside of the Women Living Fully Facebook group, not only are we going to take the conversation deeper, we're also going to provide you with some PDFs, some journaling exercises to support you in integrating, letting yourself be happy. This is Tara Marino with Elegant Femme. And it is time to let yourself be happy.